Hello everyone. Today we are going to explore the fascinating world of human skull bones. The skull is not just a protective case for our brain but also gives shape to our face, houses the sensory organs, and plays a crucial role in speech, chewing, and facial expressions. So, by the end of this session, you will have a clear understanding of different bones that make up the skull and their unique functions. So, we have 29 bones in our skull. Those are 8 cranium bones, 14 facial bones, 6 bones present in the ear ossicles, and 1 hyoid bone. Well, in some books, you will find that there are 22 skull bones because they consist of mostly cranium and facial bones. They does not consider ear ossicles or hyoid bones, but in some books, both ear ossicles and hyoid bones are also considered. So the total number becomes 29. So let's move to the next part, that is the cranial bones. Those are 8 in number: frontal 1, parietal 2, temporal 2, occipital 1, sphenoid 1, and ethmoid 1. And we can easily remember these names by using a simple mnemonic like: from Patna to Odisha, everybody loves spicy egg rolls. Frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital, sphenoid, and ethmoid. So we have facial bones, 14 in number: nasal 2, maxillar 2, zygomatic 2, palatine 2, lacrimal 2, inferior nasal conchae 2, vomer 1, and mandible 1. So they shape actually our face and support the openings for the eyes, nose, and mouth. And we can remember this by another simple mnemonic: nice monkeys zip past lovely islands very merrily. Nasal, maxilla, zygomatic, palatine, lacrimal, inferior nasal conchae, vomer, and mandible. These bones allow for expressions, chewing, and form the nasal and oral cavities. This is the anterior view of cranial and facial bones. You can see this is the frontal bone among the cranial bones, and this forms the forehead. And next is the parietal one in purple. This makes the roof and the sides of our skull. Temporal bones are present at the side, and occipital bone is present at the back. Uh, after the it comes after the parietal bone, although it is not visible in this picture. And you can see a little small sphenoid bone at the side. It is butterfly shaped, and it is mostly internal. You cannot see from the outside. If you take out this parietal bone and take out the brain, then only you can see the sphenoid bone, that forms actually the base of the skull. And it has a depression called sella tarsica, where the pituitary gland is present. And this is the ethmoid bone. It is also kind of hidden, but it sits at the roof of the nasal cavity and contributes to the eye socket. And this is the uh, facial bones, anterior view of the facial bones. At the top of the face, we have nasal bone forming the bridge of the nose. On the each side are maxilla. There are two in numbers, but they actually fuse. So it looks like they're one, but they are actually two in numbers. Maxilla is the upper jaw and hold the upper teeth. Zygomatic bones, that is our cheekbones. Uh, then comes the palatine bones, these small bones here over here, palatine bones. That is not actually easily visible in this image. The small lacrimal bones sits near the inner corner of the eye socket. Lacrimal bones in brown is shown here. The inferior nasal conchae, these are the inferior nasal conchae, two in number, can be seen inside the nasal cavity. The vomer, this is the vomer that forms the part of nasal septum. And finally, this is the mandible, that is the lower jawbone and the only movable part in the skull. So if we see uh, in a lateral view of the skull, we can see both facial and cranial bones like this: maxilla, mandible, zygomatic, frontal, parietal. Yes, you can see the occipital bone here. It is visible in this picture. And if you see, there are several processes: zygomatic, styloid, temporal, mastoid. Processes are in anatomy is different from the regular word that we use in our day-to-day life. Process in anatomy actually means uh, any bony arch that we have in our skull or any other bones. So we have several processes here, like the mastoid process over here. It is a rounded bump behind the ear, anchoring the neck muscles. This is the styloid process, a slender pointed bone beneath the ear for muscle attachment. Actually, all the processes are there because all the muscles actually attach to these bony arches. Uh, Zygomatic process is also there, and temporal process we can see here, right? And there is one important uh, thing here, the mental foramen. Foramen means a passageway. This is a small hole in the mandible through which nerves and vessels pass. And it is important for dentists actually. Next is the inferior view of the skull, and you can see there are several openings called foramina. This is the largest opening called foramen magnum, which allows the spinal cord to connect with the brain. Other foramens are also there, like jugular foramen for veins and cranial nerves, carotid canal. Here you can see the carotid canal for arteries supplying the brain. There are also foramen oval and foramen spinosum in this picture, which also serves the passageway for the nerves and blood vessels. Now, coming to the ear ossicles, we have six bones, very small bones, present in the inner ear. That is malleus. Malleus here, it looks somewhat like a hammer and is the first bone to receive vibrations from the eardrum. Vibrations from the eardrum passes from malleus to incus. Malleus are two in number, incus also two in number, and stapes also two in number. So total six ear ossicles are there in our ear. Incus resembles This is incus. Incus resembles an anvil and passes the vibrations farther. This is the steps. It looks like a stirrup and is the large bone that transmits sound to the inner ear. They are actually present in the middle ear cavity and not visible from the outside. We can also mnemonic here to easily remember the name of the ear ossicles. Mango ice cream is sweet. Malleus, incus, steps. Mango ice cream is sweet. The last one is the hyoid bone. It is an interesting bone because it is a small U-shaped or crescent-shaped bone. This one that is present in the neck region. What makes it unique is that it is the only bone in the human body that does not articulate directly with any other bone. That is why it is called the floating bone, the only floating bone in our body. So it is actually suspended by muscles and ligaments, not attached to any other bone. The hyoid bone plays a crucial role in swallowing and speech by anchoring the tongue and serving as an attachment point for muscles of the larynx. An important thing I should mention here that the hyoid bone is often discussed in forensic medicine. Why? Because a fractured bone is often considered a classical sign of strangulation. But in people under 20 years, the hyoid bone is often cartilaginous and generally, if even they are strangulated, they won't show any kind of fracture in the hyoid bone. Actually, after 40, the bone becomes more fragile and it is then they break during strangulation. So these are the skull bones that we have discussed today. Uh, in the next video, we will discuss the different types of muscles and uh, other locomotion organs and parts. Like and subscribe for more such videos. Thank you.